Good morning, Ian. How you doing today, man? Uh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep this morning. I didn't sleep at all the night before. Um, Anytime that I have like a blowout, I really start deep diving things, and like the friction of loss and failure makes us better, and so I just took the opportunity the night before to really kind of just take a second glance at how I was operating as a trader and spent quite a bit of time tinkering with some things in the chart books. And yeah, so, you know, just like working out, right? You work out, you feel the pain, you feel the burn, you're sore for a day or two, but, muscle protein synthesis kicks in and your muscles grow and get stronger, but you got to go through that pain first. So we're back. But yeah, we are trading right now. Let me look at the news here before I get. I don't want to get caught off guard. So it looks like we had unemployment at 8:30. Trump is speaking at 4:30. 10 o'clock. There's wholesale inventories. So nothing major. Should be a good day. There's the news app. Sometimes it kind of goes in and out. So we are in the world of TPO. It could kind of go either way. You know, it'd be nice to see it. Nice to see it sell off a little bit, catch a bid down here and kind of go back up. Or it could just sell off and keep going. I do think that the market is pretty overextended. Like I was showing my wife on TradingView. I'll pull it up for you guys. Oops. Hold on, let me turn off this stuff. Just hiding a couple of studies so they're not so in your face. Whoops. So, this is this is where we're at, right? In outer space. This is the COVID drop. Right here, this is after the withdrawal from Afghanistan and the sell-off when Biden was president. This is the plunge from the tariffs. And so we are, what's up, Jake? Hope you're having a good morning, brother. I was just talking to Ian a little bit about just where we're at, right? We are super extended. I mean, obviously it can go to the moon and back, but I feel like things are getting extended. People are buying. People that have money in real estate continue to buy. That's why inflation's so high. But for the average everyday citizen, right, inflation's killing them at the grocery store and with their bills and stuff. So at some point, the buying's going to stop, and this thing is going to correct, and it could easily correct all the way back down into, you know, below the tariffs, go to here. So I don't know. I think people are getting kind of fed up with prices and stuff. So, but yeah, it's interesting. But today we're trading back inside of yesterday's RTH session. So we've been building value for the last almost 2 weeks, right? Just been building value up and up and up. So we're basically trading right at yesterday's POC, and it's already tapped into it, already broke the yesterday's value area low. So this is like a look below and fail, right? And then, you know, so overnight it does this down, looks below value, fails, goes higher, but then look at what happened. Like it did not, it didn't break yesterday's high, you know, it didn't. So now we're kind of, right, one time framing down, so to speak, and close to, if we break out of yesterday's value, then we've got some value that's built up here from Tuesday. So we'll see. It'll be interesting which way they decide to go with it. I'm going to mark this high, and I'm also going to mark this value area low edge again. I should have already had this done. Area low. We basically tested the POC from Tuesday. That's really what happened. Right, we tested that POC, which is right here. So I'll just mark out these just so we've got some POC from Tuesday. And we'll kind of run with this. This is the overnight POC. Whoops, I don't want any alerts. I just want to mark it. All right, we just opened up, and we're opening up kind of low, right? Let's see how we end up here. I'm going to go over to the tactical chart. So it looks like we've got, okay, so also I'm working on a few studies, so you're going to see some stuff today, and again, I'm working on all this because it's going to look a little crazy, so just bear with me. But basically these are studies that are measuring absorption. Let me get rid of some of these bubbles. These probably don't need to be so big. And I'm working on the scaling of it too, so like I said, it's going to be a little bit funky, but the main thing that I want you guys to look at, or the thing that I'm working on, is this little, I think I might take a long here. Whoops, I didn't mean to go long too. Yeah, I definitely didn't mean to go long 2 on that. So we are above delta neutral. Take probably a little bit of heat on this. It's okay though. As long as we don't plunge through it here. But the little meter is detecting absorption. It's not detecting delta. It's not measuring delta. All right, so just keep that in mind today while you guys look at this. And I'm going to try to remove some of these triangles and stuff too. Come on, boys. All right, I'm going to get out of that. Again, this is an eval, so let me clear up some of these triangles so I can focus. Because it's a bit much. I'm just going to ignore that for now. And ignore the triangle. I really just want to focus on the just want to focus on RTH. All right, there we go. So we've got a bit of a gap from where we this is what I want to see right here. So delta is breaking down. We're starting to get some, I call it laminar movement here. I think that would probably be a decent spot to short. I'm just going to watch and observe these for now. Again, let me know if that music's too loud for you guys. So we're blowing through all these. That's okay. I'm just going to cut them off. So this is the value area low from Tuesday, right here. Starting to delaminate or delam a little bit from each other. Tick is diverging slightly. Okay, so they're starting to delam a little more from each other. You guys can, again, I apologize, the bars are all under construction, but you can see how the tick is starting to diverge. from price, and we're starting to get the delamination down here. So we're going to let this thing kind of show us what it wants to do before we try to hop into a long. But I'm just going to put one on. I like what probably should wait a little bit to get a little more confirmation here on the absorption. Again, this is not delta, guys. This is absorption that we're seeing here on the right. Again, it's under construction, so please bear with me on it. But we can see, look how we're getting, again, the delamination that's happening right here. And the tick is starting to diverge from price, so Nasdaq's starting to climb. The trick is just not overdoing it on size and kind of catching the bottom. We're getting a little pop, but I definitely do not think that this is the reversal yet. Just want to see what other downside targets we got here TPO wise. So 26,000 is a big level. We also have a low here from the 20th, so I'm just going to mark that as 120 low day. Okay, and then we've got this other little low down here from the 27th. That's 28th, not the 20th, sorry. Okay, 128 low. Alright, back to the action here. Okay, tick's really starting to kind of rally. I'm gonna give this thing, I'm watching to see. Got this low here. Look at the tick really starting to pull it up. Just went to sec, Jake. I'll get to your question. It's a great question. You guys can see that we put in basically no structure on the way down, right? So this happens when we're traveling through space and it's just kind of like a vacuum, right? We have aggressive selling, right, on the way down, but price is just kind of like it's free falling through a vacuum, if that makes sense, and so it's able to move through those areas quickly. Just gonna kind of keep watching it here. I put that one on just kind of as a feeler, really, because of the divergence in tick. Right, so we left an area. Think about it like this, right? We have this area where some energy was at. It was stored up, and then that energy was released and it went this direction. Now it's building energy again. Now is it going to go up or is it going to continue down? But that's how we've got to think about it, right? There's a coiling that happens. So I'm looking again. I'm kind of setting this this profile up. Again, it's not delta. All right. I think everybody is selling you guys delta profiles, which is just super easy to set up on Sierra chart. This is actually taking absorption readings from the dome, and so that's what I want to see. So I want to see the absorption, right? So we're getting to pull back to kind of neutral on the tick. I would imagine we'll probably kind of take out this low and then actually reverse. So let's watch here. I don't mind taking a little bit of heat on it. CVD is Oh, where'd my CVD levels go? Hold on, let me put those back on. Huh. For some reason I lost my delta levels. Interesting. There we go. All right, so we're getting down here. CVD broke 1K. Probably come on down to 2K, I would imagine. And CTD is hitting negative 1K. That's great, brother. Awesome job, man. I like your discipline, right? That's great. Okay, let's see what happens here. Fine. This is probably where I should have started building my initial entry, was here at this level, so it's okay. Jake, let me get my let me get the sales to my back here a little bit, then we'll talk about your question. I haven't forgotten. Yeah, that seems to be a common problem. Oh, come on, guys. They're not playing nice this morning. Might have to get out of this one with an L here, although we've got some divergence now, and I feel like we've got a fair amount of D-lam going on. Order flow's diverging a little bit. But, yeah. All right, well, crap. So, let's see. Just a second. Be right back. Hold on. Kids need me. So it's continued to sell, and we did sweep the low from the, we've got this point of control here that's really kind of naked and untouched. Man, it made a pretty quick move down here, didn't it? This is a, yep, okay, hold on, mark this. Looking to see this tick drop down here to like negative 1200-ish or so. This is a not a crazy amount of selling, like from an order flow standpoint, but definitely some selling. It's noteworthy. What's up, Ryan? Appreciate you coming back, man. Would not be surprised if we catch another little push down here. Just hold on. Again, I'm still working on the scaling on this thing. Oops, that's not. What's going on with this thing? Sorry, I'm trying to get this delta profile to play nice here. I just called it a delta profile myself. It's not a delta profile, it's an absorption profile. All right. Now we're back. So still no real obvious divergence. There's definitely some, like I said, Jake asked about the delamination that's kind of happening, and it's happening. So the idea with the delam is delamination for short, delam, is that what's happening is that you have, you know, large institutions that are selling, right? Their size on the sell, on the ask, or I guess they're slamming the bid, right, with market orders, selling size. And so that's what's registering on the CVD. And the trades, however, though, is I look at it as the trades are starting to spool up. So I look at it as like absorption, or, you know, limit icebergs, limit orders, right? So those are kind of more underlying passive buying. And so the delamination is just, you guys, I really talk about two things. I talk about laminar alignment, which is this, right? Where they're both basically, it's just a stream. Think of it as a solid stream of order flow. So this is like the fire hose, right? This is the working end of the fire hose right here. And then what happens, right, when this is going to be really crazy. I can't even believe I'm drawing this on stream right now, but let's say that that is the tip of the fire hose. What happens to water when it shoots out of your garden hose or the fire hose, right? It starts to spread out. And so as it spreads out, what does it lose? It loses energy. And so that's what's happening, is that the buyers, or the sellers in this case, there's periods where they kind of, they're being absorbed by these trades, right? So it's just I look at delamination as a sign that those limit orders, those passive limit buyers, are coming into the market and absorbing the heavy selling. That's lamination. That's laminar order flow and delamination in a nutshell. Rather than just looking at the volume delta, right? We want to see, now we're going to get a nice divergence here from the tick, looks like. If I start seeing some green here on the tick, I'm probably going to add into this and try to recover my loss from earlier. With this kind of volatility, you guys can see it doesn't take long to be down $1,000. You're welcome. And again, more, you know, I just look at it as a separation in the order flow. There's starting to be more buying trades that are coming in, even though we've got this selling size. So, but I think this is why you guys, if you're on funded accounts or in your personal accounts, you should be trading micros, because you can see it doesn't take long, right, to find yourself in a hole. Now, if these trades start to break higher and our tick starts to break higher, you can see that there's a divergence between tick and price. Yeah, I think I probably want to add into this a little bit, because I feel like this is probably close to the bottom here. Yep, especially if this breaks. If like these two levels break. Might not be the time just yet, but we'll try it. There is the POC right there, so it could just kind of be some preliminary front running, so to speak, of that level, but I think we're at a good spot here. We want to see this kind of absorption profile light up green on the way back up. I got to work on the spacing on it and stuff, and the color, and it's basically an idea that I've had for a long time, just trying to put it into, because I don't like using a dome and trying to read, you know, pulling and stacking and all that stuff manually. I just want to, you know, code something for Sierra chart to do it for me. And kind of that's what you're seeing on the right side. Although it's supposed to be functioning leg to leg, and it's not really doing that correctly. But I left it up there. So we got more divergence here from the tick perspective. We want to see the trades delta pop through this level right here if it's going to go up. there's some absorption there. Again, it doesn't mean that it's going to reverse, but tick still diverging here at the low. Come on, let's get some traction here. It's always the thing with order flow is like you see it changing and then it's just like just takes it so long to actually do its thing. So we're hitting negative 3K on the delta. It may not be time to stop yet. Well, there went that eval. It's rough. Rough when you're trying to pass him. Too early. Too early. Usually what happens is that I'll stop out of an eval and then it'll reverse. I'm sure you guys have experienced that yourselves. And that's the thing, when you're trading with minis and you're too early, you take so much heat, right? It's not like a micro where you can kind of survive it. So I'm gonna it's cheaper now to just purchase a new account than it is to do a reset by quite a bit, like half price. So I'm gonna reset this here, and then now that we've got a good strong negative tick reading, I feel a lot better about trying to buy this thing here at the bottom. Let's see where they take it. I like this. This is good. Maybe we can definitely at a point now where we're outside of the normal range for order flow and for tick. So maybe we can get another little push down here to like negative 1300. And hopefully we can catch this before this thing rips back up. More delam going on, right? Even bigger delamination right here. I'm gonna give this thing a minute here before I try to. I will size in heavy on this. This is really kind of approaching my A+ setup territory here, right? We're not just scalping around, but actually getting into a really, really nice trade with excellent risk to reward. So let me see if we can get this thing to. I'm gonna disconnect it real quick. Come on. This is always the hassle with apexes. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start buying. All right. We're max load on contracts here. We are definitely at a spot where this thing is gonna, I feel absolutely sure that it's gonna rally from here. At least enough for us to start taking some profits. Probably could have let it build out a little more volume here. Order flow's got nice divergence. We're at a nice tick extreme. We're negative 4K. I mean, all the stars are lining up for this to be like A+ level. Just a matter of whether or not the evals can sustain the volatility here. So. Yep, I should have waited. It's alright, you're always going to get a little leg down. So close, it's so prime. This is it. Like you're not gonna get a much better setup than this, so. Come on, boys. I've got to work on this thing because it's not really functioning the way that I want it to. Okay, so our ticks even more divergence here. Come on, I don't want to miss it. I won't go in so heavy this time on it. I can add on a pullback, but that's starting to run away. No, not without me. Come on, give me another push down here. Let me get into this thing. Come on. Okay, so this is good. Start this process again here. I won't go quite so heavy this time, but I feel like this is absolutely it here. I said that before and it dropped again, but go figure. Major DLAM here. This little low can hold, then we'll be good. Ugh. Couldn't be more more aggravating than that right there. Now my patience is getting tested. That's all right. Are they going to nudge it down again? I'll be really surprised if they do. It's a big boy trade here, and it's going to run away without me because I'm trying to get too aggressive with the eval. That's all right. I don't mind taking a few stabs at it here. All right, I'm going to lighten up here. Quit being a goober. So yeah, this is a super strong setup for reversal. We've got a major tick reading of like negative 1100. Our order flow is kind of getting outside of its normal distributions, and it's just kind of prime for a rally. But the timing of it, again, I trade my evals way more aggressively than I do my funded accounts and my personal account. Those are, you know, personal accounts just in micros, so that can sustain a lot of damage. If we get another push down here, so this is quite a bit of selling, obviously, but just so you guys are aware, like, it's a lot of selling pressure. And for it to come back down to 1,000 twice, it's good. So this is why, too, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to, we're back down to the previous month's VWAP. Like, this is a pretty big sell-off. But this is why I don't put a lot of stock in these kind of horizontal levels, because they're meaningless, right? Unless the order flow changes near them, they're basically completely ineffective. So let's see if we can actually get this thing to reverse and build out some volume, and then we'll size up where we can on it, rather than continuing to just try to catch the bottom over and over again and getting knifed to death. We'll let it make a leg up, and then we'll pull some FVRP on it and try to add into it. So we know that, I'm just going to mark that right there because that's kind of the current POC, and then I'm just going to use this FVRP to find another spot to add. There is the monthly below us, which is noteworthy for sure. I'll mark that in green. Notice too that our POC is already shifting down. There's just no volume, right? Like no volume on the way down. Or I should say it's not building out any structure. So it might take another leg lower here, but you can see the delta is diverging, right? Delta's bottoming out. Trades delta is inclined, so there's definitely a bunch of absorption that's taking place. Might take another pass at it back down, but there's just so much volatility too, and I think with Trump speaking today that so we'll just call this like a feeler. I'm not gonna, if it drops again, I'll probably get out until I'm able to find a better entry or wait for it to actually leg up and size in there. I'm going to turn off my little absorption widget here because it's not, well, actually I'm going to leave it on because I am recording this, so I want to see what kind of readings it gets here. So here's that monthly VWAP. We got down to it pretty quick. That's because there's no liquidity, right? There's no resting limit orders. You see that there's some here. Some people are buying it. Pretty strong divergence. Apply one more. See if the tick can put in a new high here. Still too early, but I'm not going to size up into it just yet this time. I'm not letting it Apex get another eval from me. At least not today. So kind of volume this thing builds out here. A safe thing that you can do kind of for an initial entry is wait for your swings in your order flow to to start to break, right? I used to do that. I used to just scalp the order flow, the breaks in it. We got major, you guys can see that. So this is like picture perfect delamination and divergence. That's a good shot of it right there. So if these order flow starts breaking, if they start breaking the high and we start getting new highs in the tick, then this might actually be the bottom. We've got all kinds of areas that we pop through, and we also have a gap overhead. So if you think about areas that institutions want to buy in, you know, monthly VWAP, that's previous month's VWAP. This is a good spot for them to accumulate. You've just got to kind of weather the storm here. All right, so our trades delta is breaking higher. I'm gonna go ahead and go to 5. Again, this is eval. If this eval didn't have a $20,000 profit target, I would not be so aggressive with it. That's the only thing about these 300K accounts is that passing them is worse than getting them to payout. Like payout, you've only got to get them to 7,600. But to pass it, you got to get them to 300K or to 20K. So. All right, let's see if we can catch a leg up here and doesn't help that I've slept like 3.5 hours in the last 2 days, so see if this little node here holds. That'll be a much clearer sign that we're in the clear to start really adding. Yep, I think we're good. I think we're good. This was the previous POC of that. I can erase that thing. All right, let's see if we can break the high here. We didn't get down to the monthly VWAP, so they may still take a pass at it. We got a, just looking at the widest point here, 2288. 2300-ish point DLAM, that's quite a bit. Okay, I'm gonna kind of focus on this leg here now. Right, I want to focus on this leg to try to add into this. Basically, I'm looking for kind of a low volume node. It didn't really put in as much volume there as I wanted, but it's okay. Tick is still kind of climbing here. Let's pick up 1, 2. So kind of bring our theoretical average to there. If we can get a nice pop here, we'll be in good shape. Looks like the order flow is wanting to. You can see the trades just ripping up. They will kind of come and become entangled again with each other if it's really going to go from here. The tick held that. The only thing is I gotta watch, because you can get yourself where you've got so much profit on the eval or on this trade that then it goes against you, and you hit your stupid trailing drawdown instead of the end of the day drawdown. So you just gotta be mindful of that. So now I'm really looking at this high on CVD and this high on our trades delta. I feel like the passive buyers are certainly in control by now. Knowing the NQ, it could go all the way up from here and close the gap. Obviously, I can't hold the trade that long, but if we can break this, I'll start taking a little bit off. 1. That's the thing, is I don't want to get... Okay, so look at the trajectory of these two, the CVD and the trades delta. They're starting to take a sharp upward. Let's see if they'll follow through here. My daughter's at the age where she's starting to send me like memes and stuff, so it's fine. All right, it's either going to, if it legs down from here, it'll be nasty. So I can't let this go. Dude. Ugh. I did exactly what I was talking about. Too frustrating. You're up 5K, then you're down 2K, then you blow the eval, so. Looks like they are going to go for that monthly, I feel like. All right, well, that's probably it for me for the day. Again, trying to pass the eval and using so much size, it's like trying to get it done quick so we can get back to live trading on the funded account. So it's all right. I might take another stab at it this afternoon or just watch this a little more, but I got to hop off for now because kids are doing school and stuff. So anyway, appreciate you guys being here. Kind of a, you know, again, it's a downtrend, heavy downtrend, and you're trying to catch the falling knife. So it's a skill that obviously I've still not yet mastered. I'm still working on my tool set, continuing to sharpen it every day. But appreciate you guys being here. I might, let's see, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday? Yeah, I'll probably take tomorrow off, reset, come back next week.